Chosen one, you are not listening to this by accident, and you did not arrive here by chance. This moment has been arranged by divine appointment and perfect spiritual timing, orchestrated by heaven itself. When this money comes, do not tell anyone. When the door that has been sealed for years suddenly opens, when the flow you prayed for begins to move, heaven is not inviting noise, it is calling for wisdom. Some blessings are not meant to be announced, they are meant to be protected. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of a supernatural shift. This is not ordinary provision. This is a heaven-sent transfer that tests character before it reveals reward. Scripture reminds us, as written in Ecclesiastes, that there is a time to speak and a time to remain silent, and this season requires discernment. What God is preparing to place in your hands carries weight, responsibility, and purpose. Silence is not fear. Silence is spiritual maturity. Silence is protection. Anointed one, heaven has watched your sowing, your restraint, your private prayers, and your endurance. What is coming will elevate you suddenly, but only the wise will know how to carry it. This is not about display, it is about stewardship. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 speaks of vision waiting for its appointed time, and you are standing inside that timing now. And yet, God's reminders do not always come through loud words or constant instruction. Sometimes what sustains you is something quiet, simple, and steady to return to when reflection is needed. What has been prepared rests below, waiting in silence. Chosen one, there is a reason heaven keeps calling you to stillness right now. Silence is not punishment. Silence is preparation. Silence is the evidence that God trusts you with weight. I learned this the hard way, watching people around me receive breakthroughs they prayed for, only to lose them because they spoke too soon, celebrated too loudly, or invited too many opinions into something that was still forming. God does not waste seasons, and He does not waste silence. When He asks you to move quietly, it is because something fragile and powerful is being shaped beneath the surface. Anointed one, understand this clearly. When money comes from God, it does not arrive as permission to prove anything, it arrives as a test of alignment. I have seen what happens when blessing outruns maturity. I have watched people gain access to provision before they gained discipline, and the blessing turned into pressure. God is not against wealth. He is against pride that forgets its source. He is not against increase. He is against noise that invites unnecessary resistance. When heaven releases provision, heaven watches stewardship before expansion. Chosen one, there are doors opening for you that stayed shut for years, and it would be easy to think the hardest part is over. But the truth is, this is where wisdom matters most. Poverty teaches dependence. Prosperity tests restraint. When you had little, you prayed carefully, moved intentionally, and listened closely. Now God is asking if you can keep that same posture when abundance removes urgency. I remember the moment provision finally came for me, and the temptation was not to spend, but to explain, to justify, to show people I was no longer struggling. That urge alone revealed how much healing still needed to happen. Anointed one, heaven is intervening in your financial story, but not for decoration. Divine wealth always carries an assignment. It is meant to restore dignity, fund vision, and heal what money alone cannot fix. That is why silence surrounds it at first. Seeds grow in darkness before they ever see the sun. Scripture reminds us that vision waits for its appointed time, as written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. Not everything God gives you is meant to be revealed the moment it is received. Some blessings need roots before they need witnesses. Chosen one, there will be people who were comfortable with your struggle, but uneasy with your elevation. This is not because they hate you, it is because your growth confronts places in them they avoided. I had to learn that not every smile is safe, and not every question deserves an answer. When God begins to multiply what is in your hands, discernment must multiply faster. Silence becomes protection, not because others are evil, but because not everyone is equipped to celebrate what God is building in you without touching it improperly. Anointed one, wealth magnifies what already lives in the heart. If fear is unresolved, it will surface. If pride is hidden, it will grow louder. But if humility is rooted, generosity will overflow naturally. That is why God often delays provision until character can hold it. Delay was not denial in your life, it was divine shielding. He was training your spirit to stay grounded so that money would never become your identity, only your tool. Chosen one, timing matters as much as obedience. There is a difference between what God gives and what God reveals. I have seen blessings die because they were exposed before they matured. It is easier to destroy a seed than a tree. That is why heaven whispers before it announces. That is why you are being trained to listen more than speak. When the blessing arrives, God is watching to see if you can carry it privately without needing validation publicly. Anointed one, let this settle into your spirit. Silence is not hiding, it is strategy. It keeps your peace intact and your focus clean. When God entrusts you with increase, He is also entrusting you with restraint. And if you can steward this season quietly, without proving, without boasting, without rushing, then heaven knows you are ready for more. Stay here, stay grounded. Let what God is building finish forming before it is seen. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer to this silence God is teaching you, and it goes beyond protection. It is about retraining your nervous system to operate from trust instead of urgency. I want you to hear this clearly in your spirit. When lack ruled your environment, everything felt immediate. Bills were loud, needs were loud, fear was loud. But now heaven is shifting you into a different frequency, and that frequency does not respond to panic. It responds to order. Silence is how God transitions you from survival mode into stewardship mode. Anointed one, I remember when provision first began to stabilize in my life. The chaos did not disappear instantly. What disappeared first was the constant need to explain myself, and that was uncomfortable. Silence feels strange to those who spent years justifying their worth, but God was teaching me that abundance does not need narration. When heaven backs you, explanation becomes unnecessary. This is why God often removes the urge to speak before He increases the flow. He is rewiring your identity before expanding your influence. Chosen one, wealth given by God always arrives with boundaries. Not walls, but discernment. You will notice that some conversations no longer feel safe. Some invitations no longer feel clean. Some questions feel invasive even when spoken kindly. That is not arrogance forming in you. That is wisdom awakening. When God increases your resources, He also sharpens your sensitivity. You are learning when to stay present and when to stay quiet. This is a form of maturity many people never reach. Anointed one, heaven is intervening right now to separate provision from performance in your life. For too long, money has been tied to identity, approval, and validation. God is breaking that connection. Divine wealth is not meant to soothe insecurity. It is meant to serve assignment. I have watched people spend blessings trying to heal wounds money was never meant to touch. God is sparing you from that trap by teaching you to sit with abundance without reacting to it emotionally. Chosen one, this is why God is asking you to pause before you plan, listen before you invest, and pray before you give. Divine prosperity is not impulsive, it is intentional. Scripture teaches that wisdom cries out quietly, not competitively. When you rush to announce what God is doing, you invite voices that were never part of the blueprint. Silence keeps the blueprint clean. Silence keeps the process sacred. Anointed one, you may already sense that people are watching differently now. Questions feel sharper. Curiosity feels heavier. This is not imagination. When God begins to lift you, attention follows. But not all attention is alignment. Silence is how God filters access. Some people are allowed to see the fruit but never the roots. Others are permitted to celebrate the outcome but never participate in the construction. This is not cruelty, it is protection. Chosen one, money exposes trust issues faster than poverty ever could. Who do you trust with access? Who do you trust with information? Who do you trust with proximity? God is using this season to show you that trust is not proven by history alone, but by discernment in the present. I had to learn that loyalty does not always survive elevation. Silence gave me the space to observe without confrontation, to watch patterns without emotional reaction. That alone saved me from costly mistakes. Anointed one, understand this truth. God does not elevate loudly, He elevates thoroughly. When your life starts to feel quieter externally, it is often because heaven is rearranging things internally. This is where many people get restless and sabotage the very stability they prayed for. But you are being trained to hold peace without stimulation, to experience provision without needing applause, to receive without announcing. Chosen one, divine wealth also tests patience in a new way. Before, you waited for the blessing. Now you must wait for instruction. Before, you prayed for access. Now you pray for restraint. This shift is subtle but powerful. When God sees that you can wait even after receiving, He knows you are no longer led by desperation. Silence becomes proof of trust. Anointed one, do not rush this season. Let the stillness teach you. Let the quiet refine you. God is anchoring your spirit so deeply that no future increase can shake you. And when the next level unfolds, it will feel calm, not chaotic, stable, not dramatic. That is how you will know it came from God. Chosen one. There is a reason God is emphasizing humility alongside increase in this season. Wealth does not only change what you can do, it changes how people relate to you and how you see yourself in relation to others. Silence becomes the anchor that keeps your heart from drifting. I have seen people lose themselves not because money corrupted them, but because attention distracted them. God is guarding you from that by teaching you to remain inwardly steady while the external landscape shifts. Anointed one, heaven is not just transferring resources. Heaven is transferring responsibility. Money is never neutral in the spirit. It either draws you closer to God or slowly pulls your dependence elsewhere. This is why God keeps reminding you of where you came from. The nights you counted coins, the prayers you whispered when no one saw. That memory is not meant to keep you small, it is meant to keep you grounded. Gratitude preserves blessing better than fear ever could. Chosen one, you are entering a phase where peace becomes more valuable than proof. The need to show others fades because the work inside you is complete enough to stand on its own. I remember realizing that my silence was confusing some people. They expected explanation, they expected performance. But God was teaching me that silence can be a boundary without being a confrontation. Not every absence needs an announcement. Not every distance needs justification. Anointed one, divine wealth carries timing instructions. There is a difference between receiving and revealing. God may allow provision to settle quietly before he ever allows it to be visible. This is mercy, not delay. Fruit ripens in darkness. Roots deepen where no one applauds. If you expose blessings too early, you invite pressure before strength is established. That is why God asks you to wait even after breakthrough. Waiting after receiving is one of the highest forms of trust. Chosen one, there will come a moment when others sense that something has changed about you. Your presence will feel calmer, your reactions will feel slower, your decisions will feel steadier. This is not pride, this is regulation. You are no longer governed by lack. You are no longer driven by urgency. God is teaching you how to operate from overflow without letting overflow spill recklessly. Anointed one, wealth will also test your inner voice. The temptation to think, I earned this, I built this, I made this happen, can rise quietly. That is why humility must grow at the same pace as provision. Pride rarely announces itself loudly at first. It whispers entitlement. Silence helps you hear those whispers early so you can correct them before they become beliefs. Chosen one, God watches how you manage what no one sees, how you plan quietly, how you give privately, how you steward without recognition. Scripture teaches that faithfulness in secret is what qualifies a person for public trust. When you learn to manage blessings without an audience, God knows he can trust you with influence that extends beyond money. Anointed one, generosity is most powerful when it is detached from ego. Giving does not need witnesses to be effective. I have seen quiet generosity heal more than public charity ever could. When you give without broadcasting, you protect your heart from pride and your blessing from distortion. Giving becomes worship, not performance. Chosen one, silence also protects your peace from unnecessary spiritual friction. Every word spoken unnecessarily opens a door for interpretation, comparison, or envy. Silence keeps your spiritual atmosphere clean. It allows you to hear God clearly without interference. It keeps your focus aligned with assignment instead of opinion. Anointed one, as your resources increase, your environment must be guarded more carefully. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your plans, or your energy. This is not arrogance, it is stewardship. Peace is part of your wealth, and peace, once lost, is harder to recover than money. Chosen one, remember this as you move forward. True prosperity is quiet. It does not rush to be seen. It does not need to be explained. It settles, stabilizes, and sustains. When God elevates you, he is not asking you to prove anything. He is asking you to remain obedient, grounded, and still. Stay here. Let the quiet finish its work. Chosen one. This is the stretch of the journey where nothing looks dramatic on the outside, but everything is being decided on the inside. The promise has not disappeared, but the noise around it has faded, and that can feel unsettling. You are not weak for feeling tired here. You are human. Waiting while believing requires a different kind of strength than striving while hoping. This is the kind of endurance heaven pays attention to. Anointed one, there are days when faith does not feel like fire. It feels like routine. You wake up, do what is in front of you, keep your word, manage what you have, and go to sleep without applause or reassurance. I have lived in that space. The days when nothing new happened, yet everything depended on me staying consistent. Those days taught me that maturity is not proven in moments of excitement, but in moments of repetition. Chosen one, God is not rushing this because he is not only delivering a result, he is forming a vessel. The waiting is not empty time. It is shaping how you will carry what is coming. I know what it feels like to pray the same prayer quietly and wonder if it is still being heard. But heaven measures faith differently than emotion. Faith is often most visible when nothing changes externally and you still show up internally. Anointed one, fatigue does not mean failure. It means you have been carrying weight for a long time. When the promise takes longer than expected, the temptation is to look for signs, confirmations, or reassurance from people. But God is drawing you inward, not outward. He is teaching you to return to what you already know instead of chasing what you want to feel. Stability grows there. Chosen one. This is where remembrance matters. Remember how far you have already come. Remember what you survived without the resources you have now. Remember the clarity you gained when you had no options but prayer. I have learned that memory can become fuel, not nostalgia but honest remembrance of how God sustained you when there was no visible path forward. That same source has not changed. Anointed one, daily faith does not announce itself. It shows up in small decisions, in choosing patience instead of reaction, in choosing integrity when shortcuts appear, in choosing rest when anxiety demands movement. I have had seasons where the bravest thing I could do was not quit, not rush, and not explain myself. Those seasons felt quiet, but they were doing deep work. Chosen one. There is a difference between waiting passively and waiting faithfully. Faithful waiting still shows up. It still manages what is in front of you. It still honors commitments. It still listens for direction without forcing outcomes. God is not impressed by emotional intensity. He is drawn to steady obedience. This is where trust stops being an idea and becomes a posture. Anointed one, I want to acknowledge something gently. Faith has often been steadied for me, not through constant explanations or dramatic signs, but through simple, repeatable reminders that brought me back to center when my strength was low. One of those quiet reminders has been placed below in the description and pinned comment. Chosen one. This waiting season is not wasted. It is teaching you how to live without leaning on constant reassurance. That skill will protect you when increase comes faster than expected. If you cannot stay grounded now, abundance will feel overwhelming later. God is training your nervous system to stay calm while things are unfinished. That calm will become your greatest asset. Anointed one. Endurance is not about pushing harder. It is about staying aligned. Some days alignment looks like prayer. Other days it looks like rest. Other days it looks like doing ordinary work with excellence, even when motivation is low. I remember moments when my faith was quiet, but my discipline kept me steady. Discipline carried me when emotion could not. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of consistency. Heaven trusts those who remain faithful in small rhythms. When God sees that you do not abandon what He gave you just because the next level is delayed, He knows you can be trusted with more. Many people lose momentum not because the promise failed, but because waiting exposed impatience they did not want to confront. Anointed one, the silence you are living in now is strengthening your discernment. You are learning to hear God without needing confirmation from noise. You are learning to rest without guilt. You are learning to move slowly without fear of missing out. These lessons are not temporary. They will shape how you handle success, relationships, and responsibility. Chosen one. There will be days when nothing feels spiritual at all. Bills still need to be paid. Conversations still need to be had. Responsibilities still need attention. That does not mean God has stepped away. It means He is close enough to trust you with the ordinary. I learned that God often does His most precise work in the most unremarkable days. Anointed One, endurance also means learning when to stop striving internally. You do not need to rehearse the promise every day to keep it alive. Sometimes faith is simply not abandoning it, letting it breathe, letting it mature. God is not anxious about timing. He is not pacing heaven waiting for you to perform correctly. He is watching how you remain when nothing urges you forward. Chosen One. This is where quiet perseverance separates those who receive temporarily from those who sustain long-term. You are being shaped into someone who can walk steadily through increase without losing peace. That kind of person is rare, and that is why this part of the journey feels lonely at times. Anointed One, stay here, stay present, stay faithful in what you can touch today. The promise is not fading, it is settling, and when it moves again, it will move with clarity, not chaos. Chosen One. This is the stage where God begins to refine your relationship with trust itself. Not trust in people, not trust in systems, but trust in His pace. I have learned that waiting becomes heavier when the promise feels close enough to taste, but still just out of reach. That tension is intentional. It reveals where control still tries to replace surrender. God is not asking you to stop caring. He is asking you to stop gripping. Anointed One, there is a quiet courage required to stay obedient when you could move ahead without permission. You will notice opportunities that look good, sound reasonable, and even feel aligned, yet something in your spirit hesitates. That hesitation is not fear, it is discernment sharpening. I ignored that feeling once, thinking momentum mattered more than alignment, and I paid for it in exhaustion. God had to slow me down again, not to punish me, but to protect what was still forming. Chosen One. Heaven is teaching you how to wait without becoming passive, and how to act without becoming impulsive. That balance is rare. Many people either freeze or rush. You are being trained to listen first, then move cleanly. This is how divine wealth stays sustainable. It flows through decisions that are anchored, not emotional. Anointed One, there is also a grief that can surface in this season. Grief for how long it has taken. Grief for who could not come with you. Grief for versions of life you imagined would look different by now. I want you to know that grief does not disqualify faith. It proves you have lived honestly. God is not threatened by your quiet disappointment. He meets you there. Chosen One. What matters is that you do not let disappointment rewrite the truth. The truth is, delay refined you. Waiting stripped away dependencies you did not know you had. It taught you how to hear God without noise, how to stand without constant reassurance, how to trust provision without seeing it yet. Those skills are not temporary. They will govern your next season. Anointed One, wealth will demand decisions you never had to make before. Who to help, where to invest, when to say no. If you have not learned to sit with uncertainty now, those decisions will feel overwhelming later. This is why God allows you to practice patience while the stakes are still manageable. Endurance here becomes clarity later. Chosen One. I remember learning that silence does not mean nothing is happening. It means the foundation is being inspected. God checks the inner structure before adding weight. He watches how you handle pressure without reward. He watches how you speak when nothing is changing yet. He watches whether gratitude stays intact when results are slow. These are not small observations. They determine capacity. Anointed One, do not rush to close the gap between where you are and where you are going. That gap is teaching you discernment. It is teaching you how to remain steady when expectations are unmet. People who skip this stage often collapse under sudden increase because their inner world was never trained for expansion. Chosen one. You are learning how to let God be God without managing the timeline. That surrender feels uncomfortable because it removes leverage. But it also removes anxiety. When you stop negotiating with time, peace returns. I learned that peace is not the absence of uncertainty, it is the presence of trust. Anointed one, there will be moments when you feel invisible again, even after glimpses of elevation. This is not regression, it is concealment. God sometimes hides what he is about to highlight. He protects what is still fragile from unnecessary attention. If you feel unseen, it may be because you are being preserved, not overlooked. Chosen one, let this season finish its work. Do not interrupt it with self-doubt or comparison. Your pace is not behind, it is intentional. What is coming requires the kind of inner stability that only waiting can produce. Stay aligned, stay receptive, stay honest with God about what you feel without letting feelings dictate direction. Anointed one, endurance here will become authority later. The calm you cultivate now will carry weight when decisions matter more. This is not wasted time. This is strategic formation. Stay grounded. Let patience finish its work. Chosen one. As this process continues, you may notice something subtle shifting inside you. The urgency that once drove you begins to soften. The need to prove fades. The desire to explain diminishes. That is not complacency. That is confidence being rooted quietly. When faith matures, it stops asking for constant reassurance. It rests. Anointed one, heaven is not only preparing you to receive, heaven is preparing you to sustain. Many people experience increase briefly and then spend years trying to recover peace. God is sparing you from that cycle. He is teaching you how to live steadily before he asks you to lead generously. Stability is the real blessing. Chosen one. This part of the journey often feels less spiritual because it looks practical. Managing habits, ordering your days, protecting your energy, learning when to stop and when to continue. I once thought spiritual growth always felt intense, but the deepest transformation happened when my life became quieter, more intentional, more grounded in reality. God was teaching me how to steward myself, not just resources. Anointed one, you are being shaped into someone who can hold responsibility without losing tenderness. Wealth will test how you treat people when you no longer need anything from them. God is refining your character now, so generosity later flows without obligation or resentment. That refinement takes time. Chosen one, there is also a new kind of obedience forming in you, not obedience driven by fear of loss, but obedience rooted in trust. You are learning to obey even when you are tired, even when clarity feels delayed, even when results are invisible. That kind of obedience is rare, and heaven recognizes it. Anointed one, do not underestimate the power of your daily consistency. The way you show up when no one is watching, the way you honor commitments quietly, the way you manage disappointment without letting it turn into bitterness. These behaviors are building a foundation that money will rest on safely. Chosen one. There will be moments when you wonder if you should push harder, pray louder, or do more. Listen carefully. God is not asking you to strive. He is asking you to stay aligned. Rest is not withdrawal, it is maintenance. You are allowed to pause without guilt. That pause keeps your spirit clear. Anointed one, as your inner world stabilizes, your outer world will eventually follow. But the order matters. If increase comes before alignment, it destabilizes. If alignment comes first, increase strengthens. God always works from the inside out. Chosen one. You are also learning how to say no without explanation, to decline access without apology, to choose peace over pressure. These boundaries will protect your future generosity. Without them, even abundance becomes draining. God is teaching you that stewardship begins with self-respect. Anointed one, the waiting you have endured is sharpening your discernment. You are learning to sense what belongs in your life and what does not. That discernment will guide every financial decision later. It will keep you from wasting good seed in bad soil. It will keep your generosity effective, not draining. Chosen one, this is where trust settles deeply, not as a concept, but as a way of living. You are no longer asking if God will come through. You are learning how to live faithfully while He does. That shift changes everything. Anxiety loosens its grip. Comparison loses its power. You begin to move at a pace that feels natural again. Anointed one, stay present, stay consistent, stay receptive. You are closer than you think, but closeness does not require urgency. It requires steadiness. What God is building will not rush, and it will not collapse. Chosen one, let this season complete you, not frustrate you. When the next movement happens, it will feel calm, clear, and undeniable. Until then, remain grounded. The quiet you are living in now is preparing you for a future that will not shake you. Chosen one. As the journey continues, you may notice that your inner world feels quieter, but heavier in a different way. Not with anxiety, but with awareness. You are carrying more responsibility now, even before the visible increase arrives. This is what happens when heaven begins to entrust you with weight before it entrusts you with volume. I remember the moment I realized my prayers had changed. I was no longer asking for rescue, I was asking for wisdom. That shift marked a new level of readiness. Anointed one, there is a maturity forming in you that does not announce itself. You are learning how to hold expectation without pressure, how to remain hopeful without becoming restless. That balance is rare. Many people only know how to believe loudly or doubt silently. You are learning how to believe quietly and move steadily. That is the posture of someone prepared for sustained blessing. Chosen one. Heaven is also teaching you how to live without chasing confirmation. When God begins to work deeply, signs become fewer, not because He has gone silent, but because trust has grown. I learned that God often reduces external affirmation when internal alignment strengthens. You do not need constant reminders when you have clarity. That clarity settles you. Anointed one, there will be moments when your faith feels plain. No rush, no excitement, just a steady knowing that you are where you are meant to be. Do not mistake that calm for stagnation. That calm is evidence that your nervous system is no longer ruled by fear of lack. You are learning how to be present instead of braced for disaster. That alone is a breakthrough many never experience. Chosen one. This season is also refining how you relate to people. You are becoming more selective, not withdrawn. You are learning that access is sacred. Not everyone who is curious is trustworthy. Not everyone who asks deserves an answer. I had to learn that silence can preserve relationships better than explanation ever could. Some connections survive only when boundaries are respected. Anointed one, wealth will amplify whatever patterns already exist. God is addressing those patterns now. How you respond when tired. How you treat people when disappointed. How you speak when frustrated. These moments matter more than dramatic acts of faith. Heaven is watching the ordinary decisions because they reveal character most clearly. Chosen one. You are also learning how to stay anchored when nothing is urgent. That skill will protect you later when many things compete for your attention. I remember realizing that my ability to stay calm was becoming more valuable than my ability to move fast. Speed impresses people. Stability sustains legacy. Anointed one, there is no need to rush into the next phase. The next phase will arrive with clarity, not confusion, with peace, not pressure. God does not drag his people into destiny. He leads them. And right now, he is leading you through steadiness. Chosen one. Let this part of the journey deepen you. Let it simplify you. Let it strengthen you without spectacle. You are not behind. You are being fortified. And that fortification will carry you through what is coming without breaking you. Chosen one. As you approach the edge of what has been forming for so long, something important settles into place. You realize that the goal was never just the blessing, it was the becoming, the quiet discipline, the grounded faith, the ability to remain steady without needing to be seen. I learned that when God finally releases increase, it does not feel explosive. It feels fitting. It feels like something you have already been prepared to hold. Anointed one, this is where confidence replaces urgency. Not confidence rooted in self-assurance, but confidence anchored in alignment. You no longer feel the need to rush outcomes or force doors. You recognize when something is not ready, and you are at peace, waiting for what is. That discernment is a gift earned through patience. Chosen one. The silence you embraced did not make you smaller, it made you clearer. It filtered distractions. It revealed motives. It showed you who you are without applause. That version of you is the one God trusts with influence. Influence that will not corrupt you. Influence that will not consume you. Anointed one, wealth will come with visibility, but you will no longer be driven by it. You have learned how to value peace over recognition, obedience over approval, purpose over display. Those priorities will protect you when others misunderstand your choices. You will not need to defend what God is doing. Your life will explain itself. Chosen one. There is also a gentleness forming in you, not weakness but humility. You remember what it felt like to struggle. You remember the long nights. You remember the quiet prayers. That memory will guide how you give, how you lead, how you respond when others are in need. Compassion will stay intact because pride was never allowed to take root. Anointed one, you are prepared now to receive without clinging and to give without depletion. That balance is rare. Many either hoard or overextend. You have learned restraint. You have learned listening. You have learned when to move and when to wait. Those lessons will guide every step forward. Chosen one. As things begin to open, you will notice that nothing feels chaotic. Doors open cleanly. Opportunities align naturally. You are not scrambling. You are responding. That is how you will know this season was ordained. God does not lead through panic. He leads through peace. Anointed one, stay anchored in what brought you here. Quiet obedience, steady faith, deep trust. Do not abandon the stillness that shaped you just because the landscape changes. That stillness is now part of who you are. Chosen one. You are ready not because everything is perfect, but because you are grounded. And what God is about to entrust to you will not shake you, rush you, or redefine you. It will rest in your hands the way it was always meant to. Chosen one. As this message comes to rest, know that a supernatural transfer is already in motion. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the exact timing heaven appointed long before you understood what was forming. What God is releasing is not rushed, not random and not fragile. It is measured, purposeful, and aligned with the work He has completed in you. Remain faithful, stay wise, walk softly with what is coming, and let gratitude go before you like incense. Anointed one, you are not late and you are not early. You are exactly on time. Heaven has marked this season, and your obedience has brought you here intact. Look ahead without fear. Look forward with reverence. What is about to manifest will not steal your peace. It will rest inside it. Continue to let humility deepen as provision increases, and let worship remain louder in your life than numbers ever could.